Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 3 here on the Kingdom of Poland at E5, where we are in September of 19, or I always say 1938, 1338, playing as Kazimierz III, the Peasant King. I've continued to try to play with the microphone as I'm updating and ordering a new microphone and receiver, but it'll take a few days to get here, and I wanted to try to continue updating the save as well. Excuse me for that. So, we do have a, what is this? Tanner's Guild in Krakow that is being completed 63 days. A Mason and Prusowitz, which will be done in about 46 days. We are still working on Serdaz and Ridgeway in terms of their annexation. We are trying to build up a spite network in the Teutonic Order, and we will let time go. So we did have a influx of low German migrants to Krakow, which was they're going to be living in their own communities. Was the event that fired. We do have some buildings with missing inputs, as you can see, the jewelry, which you don't really have the stone or silver for. Fine cloth, which hopefully will change with the Tailors Guild being built. Peasants or pops are just missing goods. Furniture, fine cloth, which hopefully will again be improved a little bit here. Fish, fruit, sugar, fur, saffron, jewelry, beeswax, which we did build not an apothecary because that deals with medicine, but we built what do they call it? I guess just beeswax gathering up there in Samuthi, which will hopefully improve with that. And then we have gold, of course, which is impacting our minting operations. We do still have the underage heir. RJOs are missing employees. It is this beeswax building that we built up there, but they are slowly being promoted. Oh, no, we don't. We don't want to do that. It is at a level 10. Can we just see the buildings? So you can see it's 90% prosperity and Smoothy 1701 is the development. I don't want to build another one. There we go. You can see we're on level 2, 2.5 food, -5 good demands, 1 to 1. Like, okay, this is just talking about beeswax in general, not the actual building, but that's where we built it. Trying to improve there. We get the masonry. We ended up we didn't really need the masonry building, but I thought it might be something worth having. We do have all the truces that will be expiring in 1343. Minting we know about because we don't have the gold or silver. Children can have better education. We have advanced research. We have now research organized religion, which gives us the following benefits. Possible clerics for towns and cities plus 50, max literacy for clergy plus 5%. Religion plays a major role in every society, and not every faith has the same structure. An organized religion has its right rules and belief systems systematically arranged and follows defined doctrines. So it looks like we have classical scholasticism, which institution growth plus 20%. Guilds, which would give us possible burgers in towns and cities plus 100 max literacy for burgers plus 5%. Or universal Christianity monthly diplomats. A guild is an association of merchants or craftsmen who have come together for mutual protection, aid, and for the pursuit of their own interests. Guilds establish monopolies of their own goods and trades and sets goods and trade and set standards for the quality and price of their goods. We'll go there first. All right, we'll go for guilds first. We know our children could have better education, but that would also cost the vast majority of what we have. You can see some say, right, 920 or negative 920. We are promoting peasants to, um, promoting the workforce there, peasants to laborers. We are now into October 1338. So we did play a little bit from January to about September. It was a very short, it was a shorter episode. I did record it, but I did kind of just let that one go. So you can see we're at 155. Oh, let's see, improving the relations. So we're at 10 out of 160 on Serdaz, and we're at 28.27 out of 80 on IGM. So did learn a little bit about making money and the economy in the game, and obviously the more profitable the buildings you can have, the better. Although, control, taxation, roads, things like that definitely can factor in, and that most RGOs do turn a profit at this point of the game. With the word reaching this factor that our national manpower is not an optional shape, they have offered up their own service to the military. That is good. We gained 30 manpower. So we can recruit our own regiments now. We do have enough manpower, and we're now gaining 5 a month. We have currently 80, in reserve. So we got a few of those. Um, I believe both of our children have balanced education. Yes, Elizabeth, who is 12, and then, well, she doesn't have any children because, she's 12. Mm, the masonry and Prostwitz also is missing workers. So one of the other things that a video I was watching on EU5 in terms of, the economy and buildings and all of that was that the closer you can build to the capital, especially the early days, the better. And that makes sense, right? Because this is where the control is. We'll take a zoom out here. And where is the control now? Right? It's at 100. You've got just not a lot of control anywhere else. You got 8 days remaining on the Tailors Guild. And we can go back to the general map. So, like here it enters now, which we'll select. You can see in the Krakow market, Polish trade capacity, the Krakow is 0.04. We have missing inputs, pops have needs, and we have 1,648 food. So we've got plenty of that. But if we look at Taylor's Guild has now been completed, that's good. If we look at, okay, we have 21,090 people, we have 96 market access, 53% control, 1 out of 8 lead, 0.41 tax base. There we go. And you can see we loss due to control of 53.7 is negative 46. Well, that's just the control we don't have. So you can see that we lose what is that? So we get 0.41. So we lose 0.36 ducats because we just don't have enough control here. And so in Shastoya, right, which has a 0.33 tax, and we could be getting 1.42. So that's 1 point over 1 whole ducat. And they have iron. Right, so we are down. Oh, we're up to 5.15 ducats a month right now. So again, just not a lot of money. But we're a mostly rural nation, kind of coming in. Our spy network is at 8 in the Teutonic Order, so that is something we want to try to do is get a casus belli on them and try to expand. You know, eventually we would love to get to the sea. I don't know how likely that's going to be. And I do apologize, right? The two times speed, it's not the most advantageous and it's not the most mind-blowing, right? Episodes that are out there. But I do think we're making progress. Our current king again, Kazimierz III, we're now 28. We still just have the two daughters. I kind of would like to potentially see if we can have a son. We do have the learning walkthrough few diplomats, Guelphs and Ghibellines. During the Guelphs and Ghibelline situation, the international organizations, Guelphs and Ghibellines compete for influence over the region of Italy in the name of our Fulton Guelphs or Holy Roman Emperor Ghibellines. If you are a member of either side, you can force a country to your faction with the help of the forces or faction casts belli, assist the members of your faction and keep hold of their tax base with diplomatic relations and like alliances and guarantees. Okay, well, we're pretty far away from Italy. 1.275 cloth. Now, to be fair, I don't know if that's actually been updated just yet from the Taylor being built. See, negative 840 laborers for employment, but we have 1,647 that are currently employed. So we need 2,000 with the bees. What is it? It's called the beeswax, right? Mind your beeswax. Yep, beeswax. So we're making 5.7 ducats monthly, which is good because trying to build out regiments is going to become very expensive. And if we are going to go towards the Teutonic Order or Bohemia or any of it, that is going to become very important. Now, Denmark, what is interesting here, Count Gerhard is still in power. Um, when I tried to play them a little bit off screen, there was going to be an attempted coup and civil war very, very soon. So we're about 2 years into the gameplay now. And again, very, very much enjoying EU5. It still sounds kind of weird to say EU5 out loud. I have to kind of stop myself because I've always wanted to say EU4, even though that is incorrect. And, maybe, hey, maybe the other reason that we still consider um, who is this? Crown Prince Andro Lajos to be our heir is, even though he's 12, is a male. So maybe when Elizabeth becomes of age, um, we'll be able to consider her our heir. Although then again, we just may not be in a state where we can have a queen at this moment. Although she is rowdy and okay, balanced education, so we already had that. So currently she's at a 52, 45, and 44 for her skill pots. 5.8 gold currently. I'm off. I feel like should be going down a little bit. Yeah, you can see it's down to 799 here for missing pops and Sabufi. Now, building roads does cost a lot of money. Building regiments also costs us a lot of money. Is there a way we can weed inertia now? We don't want to build roads. Wait, wait, what? The first army of Kilmo is just kind of hanging out. I'm not really sure what they're doing exactly. You could see the Lord Republic of Veliki Novgorod, Muscovy's here, the Golden Horde. I don't know that I've seen a lot of. France is starting to occupy Aquitaine. Um, Baliol looks like he might be winning against Scotland in their civil war. The Ottomans, I'm not sure if they've expanded or not. It's hard to really tell 100%. Bulgaria looks like they are, yep, at war with Wallachia. So we're about to go to February. I think what we're going to do here is we are going to take a look at our goods and okay, here we go. February 1339, the judgment of 1339. In 1335, we filed a complaint against the Teutons to the papal court. After years of waiting, the papal commission has finally arrived and the process of deliberation has begun. As we expected, the judges have agreed with our solemn complaint and declared that the Teutons returned Danzig, Tushola, Suabia, Dobrzin, and Stoke provinces. Both in 1339 and 1335, the Polish sides filed complaint against the Teutonic Order and the papal court demanding restoration of the Danzig Pomerania back to Poland. In the case of 1335 complaint, the commission set by the papal state determined that the Teutonic aggression was unjust and the land should be returned and a reparatory sum would be repaid. The Teutonic Order did appeal that decision, and after the papal deliberation, they were only forced to return to occupied territories, Bidox and Dobrzy, and we thought justice was dead. Well, I mean, I guess it kind of is, because I mean they didn't really return that much. But anyways, we are gaining a tiny bit of prestige. We are losing point 0.1 diplomats. We have over 100 manpower now, so that part's good. Almost 350 ducats. Okay, so let's go into production and actually let's take a look at our. I think our. So in the Krakow market, we're actually losing 38.45 food. Well, oh, but it is also the winter time, so that might we'll have to see if that continues. Um, Overall, right, we were gonna go by like the balance. Yeah, there we go. Going by price. So we are still interesting, right? 4.625 cost. We're still very low on that. Um, Gold, we know we're still low on saffron. Gems, of course. So like we're low on jewelry as well, but without gold, saffron, hit beeswax, we're still a little bit low on, although I think it's maybe gotten a little bit better. Sugar, fish, fur is a little bit interesting to be fruit, and then of course high cloth and the furniture we already knew about. Teutonic response. The Teutonic Order response was called the best faced with the verdict attended. They have decided that the best course of action was not to cave into the justice judgment of the Papal Commission. Instead, they decided to bother the Holy Father with an appeal. What a waste of holy time. Let the Holy Father learn of their transgressions. We lose 10%. Why do we lose prestige? I mean, why do, yeah, I'm not sure why we lost the prestige from that, but okay. You would think the fact that they didn't accept the ruling of the Pope would cause them to lose the prestige, but um, Yeah, pottery, we're even on. Masonry, we're completely even. Well, no, wait, never mind. So you can see we have masonry here. So you can see our masonry crosswits. Currently, we have 371. We're missing 371 employees, and we're producing clay bricks to produce masonry goods. All right. That's leather. Yeah, we just have a lot of clay. Okay. So in Wizlika, which we had looked at making building a masonry building as well. We also don't have any laborers. You know, most of our areas we don't have a lot of laborers. Like in Kishinev Lukia, we do. We have 584 laborers available for employment. They are doing horses, and we have -2 food, -50% due to a normal winter. So yeah, like the winter is definitely impacting the food. So now, of course, horses in Poland is a really big thing because mild winter, -45% in April. Um, we lost 484 people. Interesting on that. Ah, why we lost people there? So yeah, a lot of our territories are just, rural, very rural. We don't have a lot of cities currently, which, fits with the Kingdom of Poland. Um, it was not, and even more so than just fitting with the Kingdom of Poland, it fits with the time period, right? This was a time period of, massive cities or anything like that. So 358 ducats or ducats. Again, we can recruit regulars. We have 1.12 million people gaining 887. So footmen would take 35.3 gold. Maximum strength would be 100. You can see we would need zero point 0.2 weapons, 0.03, I think that's leather. Yep, and then zero point 0.0 tools. So if we wanted to do that, we would need what, 0.03 weapons. Okay, so we got 0.89 tools. Probably would want to get some more tools going at some point. Because weaponry right now, I think we're exactly even. We have 3.82 and 3.82. All right. Oh, we've got another event change from the Teutonic response. The, Teu- the Teutonic response was called the best that being said they did give it to part of our debate, so with bigger results. First, the papal intervention is as much. has left a bunch of her complaints void, debating only a few border areas to be returned back to us. It is, however, still a win in our books. All right, so tools we have 0.93 more than what we need. So if we wanted to make like a blacksmith, okay, so an iron mill would produce 4 tools, and a blacksmith would produce 1. I'm just trying to see what a blacksmith would take. I would just take iron, 0.75 iron, and it would turn into 1 tool. Okay. Well, where are we in iron? Okay, point 13. Yeah, okay, we got a lot of iron. And I believe here in Chestoya, right? Yep, they do produce the iron. Now we don't have anybody currently available for employment. Esto produces sturdy grains. Lilo produces fiber crops. They produce horses. So they are losing more and more people. Where are we on horses? Weaponsmith, if they can make 0.08 to 0.81 tools, 0.18 to 1.181, right? I think we need Posen or. Hey, we have a son. Your Majesty, a son has been born to King Casimir III. P.S. We are told that the baby is named Crown Prince Władysław. P.S. Okay, so we do need burgers to make the employment for the Tools Guild. What if we just made a. So we'd have to build a Tools Guild, which of course is primarily going to be built in the cities. And building a weaponsmith would require two tools. So you can definitely see where we're, going to be struggling to turn. We're up to 6.5 ducats monthly, which is awesome. Um, clearly Władysław isn't going to be an underage heir. Can we? Although he's a crown prince, but he's an infant, so we probably can't give him a education just yet. So we do have three children, so it's going to be interesting. The head of the dynasty is Prince Trajan. So he is still considered to be the heir. Interesting. We did say we didn't want to have the two crown system, but he is still considered to be our heir. That's really kind of interesting to me. Um, we are into July of 1339. Might be happy to take a step away just for a moment here, and then I will be back shortly. And I do apologize. about that. I did do apologize for having to step away for a brief moment. So I guess it's going to be really interesting to me here as we get closer and closer to what actually is going to happen, even though we said we did not want the two crowd system, and we said that we were hoping to, well, we didn't really say, but now that we have had a son, I would hope that he would become potentially the heir. Um, but I guess we will have to wait and see. Of course, it continues to tell us about the fact our children can have better educations, the fact that we have a lot of truces that are going to expire here in 1343. We are up to 6.64 ducats or ducats monthly, so our economy is getting better and better. But we're that is going to allow us to make more buildings, improve our roadways, potentially recruit more regiments. All of that would be a massively good thing, of course. But of course, we also need and here we are again with the truces that are going to expire. So one of the things also with the game was that there was that update, and I am very happy, that there was the update, but it did say that, hey, this is an outdated or, previous version of the game. It may or may not crash. Hopefully it doesn't. We are up to almost 400 ducats, in the treasury. Let's see where we are at in terms of our goods, because I do want to put another building. That sounds stupid, but put another building down, so to speak. God, like, are we not producing any of this? Like, it wasn't that bad. I mean, okay, so that's just like in the Krakow market. So 1.30 still in the marketplace, right? We do have a level 2 greenery, and we do have the level 1. Okay, we have corruption we have to deal with. All right, corruption is one of the most common and frequent factors of political and economic life in our kingdom. Several scandals over the past year brought the issue to the fore, so wish that the influential populace would not call for us to take action against this growing problem. Failing to do so could have dire consequences for ability to govern our kingdom. We could lose 7 stability or ignore them and lose 5 prestige. And we gain ignoring corrupt institutions for 5 years. Don't think I really want to do that. Our stability is at 31, so I really don't. I mean, we're going to try to eradicate the problem, of course, but really not thrilled with the losing of the stability. Did we? I'm pretty sure we tried to build a. Yeah, we did build a tailor's guild, 200 out of 200 people. So we're producing 0.72 in Krakow, 0.48 in Lviv. We need 5.33, so negative 4.6. So there's a lot of room for growth. Um, we're just using wool. Now, if we use silk from a silk weaver's guild, we'd make a little bit more cloth, but we'd also make a little bit more profit. Or we could just use cloth, which currently has no difference in the Krakow market. So silk or wool, which we're using, we have plus 29.35. All right, so if we go back to the city of Krakow, so maybe Krakow becomes a cloth producer. Our population here, we have 935 burghers available for employment. Now, I do know from the video that there's like building limits in your cities, so you can't just like build everything in a city, right? So let's go to the buildings panel, and there, we did, or we are upgrading our Tailor's Guild, right? And then Posit, I think, is also one of our cities. Yes, the town of Posit, 21,421 people, 66% market access. So we'd like that to be a little bit better. 1 out of 5 wheat is being grown. Tax base is 1.46. It could be 9.66, but we have such little control there. So that would be the problem there of trying to maybe build something there is how much would we really get because of the lack of control, which is a problem all over the country. I mean, if you look at our stability, we lose stability point. Okay, well, I'm not really that interested in the balance per se. Um, so rural good wise, right? Like we know where we're missing in terms of the finished goods, right? But like furs, we're missing a lot. What is this? Sugar, saffron, fruit, rice, gold, silver, and then gems. What can I write even on pottery, paper, beer, liquor, and cloth we're right even on. Okay, okay, so okay, clock we could, the problem is we can't really build many of these places, outside like all these guilds, we have to, be in the city, right? Irrigation, local population capacity plus 1,000, food production plus 5%, rural cloth maker. Okay, we don't have any laborers in any of these places, but we do have the ability to build a cloth maker. So in, let's go back here. Our rural cloth maker, where do they go? 1.20 potential profit profits. Isn't that where we built the masonry? Yes, and they do have 500 deployment. I don't know if I want to put that there. Like, I understand what it's saying, but I don't know if I really want to put it right there. Where would be the next place? Um, right, because it's got the clay, it's got the masonry. I might want to focus on that in terms of buildings that go there. So the next best one would be Now. They have 20,000 peasants. Union formed. We have formed a union with Poland and Holland. We'll now protect each other when attacked and can pass laws that apply to all of our countries. Why did that happen? But yeah, and just now we'll build a rural cloth maker. The Grand Principality of Holland has now formed a union with Poland, which is good. We have Shebashil free and Shebashil, we can build roads. Okay, well, let's see here then. Okay, we got some more coal, stone. We got a lot of lumber. Some legumes, wool, grains, a little bit more beeswax, so that's good. Dyes are going to be huge because we didn't have any of that. Some more salt, decent amount, a lot of salt actually, a little bit more iron and a little more stone as well. Okay, so we do have a union there, which is kind of interesting here in 1340. And I believe they had been one of our rivals at one point. So how are these people still missing workers? Although it's down to 430. So they're almost 100% hired. So that'll be good. 6.23 ducats. So again, we are building the rural cloth maker. If we look at our control, it's just so crap, right? I mean, especially up here in the north, right? Like that is a huge issue. But even down here in the south, it's not great. So what would happen if we said build roads from Now to Krakow? Constructing a gravel road, capital distance will cost 20 instead of 40. Movement cost negative 25%. Market access cost negative 10%. Proximity cost negative 20. And it will help increase control here. 47 ducats. And we are, okay, so we are building a road. So you can see here exactly what the control does. Crowd power negative 44%, monthly sailors, manpower, local pop, promotion and conversion speed, assimilation speed, and levy site all down 44.21%. Market protection plus 27.89%, mercenary size negative 2%. And the road will take 171 days. So I think that's where we're going to wrap up today's episode. Sorry for the pause there. Sorry for a little breaks here or there in the audio. I do apologize. Like I said, it's a pause that I took. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe, take care, and I will talk to you all later.